Welcome back, everybody, to this episode of Hamilton Icons. I am your host and local real estate agent, Justin Little. Today, I am joined by a super exciting guest, actually somebody that I've known for a really long time, so it's exciting to have her on the podcast. It is Victoria Monachino. She is a mortgage agent, an insurance agent, and a financial literacy educator / financial coach, I guess we can say.
I guess so, yes.
Victoria, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Justin. It was an honor to hear from you, to be asked to be on your podcast and to talk a little bit about what I do and share it with your followers and everything like that. So I'm excited to be here.
I appreciate it. Who would have thought, 15 years ago, how many years ago were you? I guess we don't have to say how long ago we were in university. 50, maybe 15.
Probably.
Oh yeah. That we would be sitting doing a podcast for our businesses, right? It just wasn't something that...
It wasn't on the McMaster Italian Association agenda, but here we are. Excited to be here.
Now we're doing it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you got, you wear a lot of hats, but it all kind of falls under this one area of financial literacy and financial coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of what's caught my attention recently has been your Instagram posts, because your social media is just really, really good. Do you want to talk a little bit about what sort of got you on this path of social media, getting the businesses going, and kind of what brought you to where you are now?
It's actually funny. I tried to start the page a long time ago, and I felt like I didn't have a story. But then as life started to happen, I realized that I do have a story, and it's an important story that people need to hear and that people can relate to. So I took my own experiences of being a parent, being a mom, going through a massive life change, divorce, career change that came out of that, and just trying to find my footing again. So I thought, what do I know? What do I do? And that's teaching people about money and how to take control of their finances. And how can I put that out into the world and provide value to people on social media in a world where we're so consumed with, how to dress and how to be the perfect parent and all of these social norms. So it's sort of different content. I know it's not new, it's not revolutionary, but I think it's a way to shake up people's feeds and teach them something useful, so that they can take that into their everyday life and use it.
That's really cool, because one thing that I even experienced as a real estate agent in the industry, when it comes to divorces and stuff, there's always a big sort of financial mess. I don't know if it's a mess, but sort of people don't know what to do with their finances or what to do after the separate, or they start finding out issues with the financing throughout, right? So there's not that open communication, because honestly, there's just not a lot of financial literacy out there, right? So being able to put it in consumable content that makes sense to people and being able to relate it to stuff is super, super cool.
Yeah. And I want to touch on that, because it's not that there's not a lot of content out there. There's so much. There's a lot of information out there, good and bad. And it's just whether or not it's getting to the right people. So to both parties in a relationship. And in a lot of cases, it's the women that don't. I'm not trying to say man, woman, but in a lot of cases and in a lot of relationships, it's the women that don't have the full financial picture. They don't understand where debts are going, and they don't understand what joint accounts that they have or what insurance products they have. And it's important to know all of that, not because you're planning to get divorced. No one ever plans to get divorced, but just you never know what life's going to throw at you. What if there's an accident or a sudden change in career? It's just knowing what to expect if something happens. So it's getting that information to everybody and understanding the importance of knowing it.
Yeah, that's well said. I mean, you're right. It's not like you're anticipating to get divorced, but a lot of people, and even our generation, I find, they don't know anything about insurance, whether it's life, or disability, or what's the one if you get injured, critical illness.
Yeah,
sure. Like this stuff I don't even know about, right? But I'm pretty open with Cass about our finances. She knows everything about mine, because I want her to. I feel like that communication is so important, just so everybody kind of knows where we are at. But that's stuff that I didn't know until I started wanting to, like, what happens to me if something happens, and then start looking into it, and then thinking, like, Cass couldn't carry the house without me. So what do I need now to make sure that if either something happens to me or like, you know, if I die or if I get injured and can't work, how are we going to be able to, you know, even if it's not carrying the house, just how can we at least float it long enough to figure out what our next step is? Because obviously we want to leave her in a good position.
Of course.
So that, but you're right, that financial, and I see it a lot with couples, like how many people I'm sitting at the listing table with, and we're just talking about, you know, this is what you're going to get. We're trying to come up with a net from the proceeds of the sale. And then you find out somebody had a debt that the other spouse didn't know about.
Yeah.
And it's not like an insignificant debt.
No, it's pretty major. And unfortunately, it's some people can find it out early, but a lot of people find out about this. A lot of people find out about this debt when it's too late, when either an accident's happened and someone's unexpectedly passed away, or a sudden divorce that you weren't prepared for. That's when you start to unravel and get clarity on your financial situation, see it clearly, and it's not good. That's why it's important to have that understanding. But also, you can know what you have, you can know what debts are there, but it's also important to know the products that you have too. So it's great. We have life insurance. What kind of life insurance do we have? If someone does get disabled, what does that mean for us? Are we protected in the event of that? And it's just all parties need to know what's going on in that situation.
Yeah, that's super important, right? Like, so life insurance is sort of the field you started out in, right?
It's where I got my start. So I'm really passionate about life insurance. A lot of people don't understand it. They're afraid of it, or they have a very minimal understanding of it. They think that you only need life insurance to pay for expenses after you die, closing costs, so all of that. They don't understand that it's about more than that. It's about carrying your house, what you just said. It's about, if you have kids, who's going to take care of the kids while the other partner is out working? How are you going to raise that family? It's just knowing all of the benefits of it. And in a lot of cases, it's cheaper than you think. It's get it when you're young. That's what I like. That's why I got my start. And that's where my passion for all of this came in, because I started in the industry in, how old was I? I want to say 2014, 2015. So I was a bit younger. So I'm trying to talk to all my friends that are in their 20s about getting life insurance. They looked at me like I was crazy. And I'm sitting there trying to understand, how can I teach them that they're young, they can lock in this amazing rate, this amazing coverage now? How can I explain this to them? And I didn't have the tools back then to explain it, and now I do. And that's why I'm so passionate about teaching it to everybody.
That's very well said. Like, people in their 20s, like, that's when, you're right, they can probably get the cheapest rates because they're the healthiest, less issues, that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And lock in that good rate. I did it, you know, the only reason I think I even really discovered it mostly was when I bought a house and we were talking about getting mortgage insurance versus life insurance. And that's when I learned that you're way better off to get life insurance than you are mortgage insurance. I would never get mortgage insurance on a property.
No.
It's because there's just so many. Could you actually want to talk about that a little bit?
The difference between the two. The main thing that I explain to my clients when I sit with them or a referral is, you have to understand the product and you have to understand who's benefiting from the product. So in the event of an accident happening, where is that money going? If you get mortgage insurance, it's not going to your family, it's not going to your loved ones, it's going to the lender. So you want to make sure that your family is protected. And that's why term life insurance is a better option. Also, the coverage stays the same throughout the entire term. So if you're buying the right life insurance, so you get a 30-year term, that is your coverage. If you're getting mortgage insurance, as your mortgage decreases, the coverage decreases as well. And insurance isn't just about covering your mortgage. It's, like we talked about earlier, it's about protecting your family and supporting them when you're gone so that they can continue to live the fullest life possible. Their life doesn't have to end because you didn't leave them with anything. If you have the proper coverage, they can continue on as if you're still there.
Yeah, that's really well said. And even if you were to move, right, sell your house and
Right.
buy something else, the insurance comes with you versus, I guess it's eliminated once you sell the property. Right? You
Yes,
just charge
yes.
that mortgage.
It's more portable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we did it. And then I actually had to increase mine because I had to. We took on a bigger mortgage,
Yeah.
right? Which I guess is another advantage. I don't know.
Yeah, there's
But
so many different things you can do. You could increase it. You can add if you have children later in life. You always tell my clients, let me know. There's options to add child riders, different riders. You have so much more flexibility when you're outside of the mortgage insurance realm.
It's so important. And then you transitioned into mortgages.
I did recently.
Yeah. So you're still doing you're still doing the insurance, but you're doing the mortgages as well. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I got my mortgage license back in January. Really excited to be able to expand my business to help my clients with that part of their life. I can help them when it comes to making sure they're properly protected with life insurance, health benefits. Also, I'm licensed in mutual funds, so I can help them with their investments as well. And the missing piece of that puzzle really was being able to help them with the next stage in their life when they're buying property and getting them the best mortgage for them. And just taking what I know about money and translating it into that. It's all part of having a holistic plan for a client too. When I look at their financial snapshot, I don't want to just look at life insurance. I don't just want to look at the RSPs and their TFSAs. I want to be able to look at the whole picture and see where their money is going and make sure that their plan fits their life. So it's really cool that I get to go on the whole journey with my client and help them with this part of that.
That also seems really convenient for your clients too. If I have a financial question or anything, just text her, what I mean,
Yeah.
or call her. It's not like I have to, figure out, oh, what am I gonna do about this? And then figuring out, do I need to call my bank? Do I need to go, having it all kind of one stop shop? I can see that being really useful for people.
Exactly. I'm really excited about that, where the firms I work for are really excited about the fact that I bring this to the table now as well for the whole team. And it's a great way to, I don't want to say keep our clients close, but it's a great way to make sure that they're being protected and looked after. Because there is a lot of advice out there and there are a lot of products out there. It's just making sure that you get the right product for you.
Yeah, you're right. So many products to sift through on both sides. I feel like the life insurance and the mortgage side.
So yes.
And then you've managed to position it though into this really cool way that you're just giving financial advice to people. I think if anybody's not following her on Instagram, you need to give her a follow. We're going to put the information in the description below, but because that's what caught my attention was we know each other for how long, and then all of a sudden I know you started engaging more on social media, and I was like, oh my god, this was really good stuff.
I was really nervous about it. I tried to be a little anonymous about it. So when I went public, you were one of the first people that messaged me and said, I thought it was you. And that was really neat.
Yeah.
Fun.
Because there was no picture of you. It was just the carousels, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, it must be Victoria Monachino, right? And it was, but it's a great job. And social media is so interesting because there's so much good advice. There's also so much bad advice out there. So it's really nice when you find somebody that can give stuff, but then you also put it in terms that it's easily understandable, right?
Yes, it's digestible. That's the whole point of it. And it's just why I'm there is to empower people so that they can ask the right questions. I know everyone has their own people that they talk to, but it's just giving people the ability to ask the right questions and make sure that they're getting the information that they need to make sure that they're on the right path.
That's the biggest thing. Sometimes people can be shy to ask questions, but I know you say you get questions to your DMs, which are great.
Yes.
Right. I get some of mine too. But that's what starts the conversation, right? And it's amazing. Social media is such a huge business generator now, right? Who would have thought of it? The business we used to do, business you do now and what I do. Back in the day, it was all meeting for coffees, networking events, doing all that kind of stuff. Now it's almost like you can build your business just through social media, which is pretty unique. So you've been doing this now for a few years. First the insurance, now the mortgages, now you're doing the coaching advice. I was kind of curious, like, what are your favorite parts about what you do? What is the favorite part of your, I don't want to say job, but your business?
I love I love surprising people. A lot of the times I sit with especially young couples and they're just getting started, and I show them the numbers, just the facts, and I can tell them, if you follow this plan and if you save this much, you're going to have X amount at retirement. And I help them get to that financial independence, and I love the excitement that it builds, knowing they know that they're going to be protected.
You don't realize just by putting aside a little bit of money every month what that can snowball into.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you don't need to make sacrifices. I'm not on Instagram to tell people not to buy their cup of coffee in the morning. I'm guilty of doing that, my $6 Starbucks. But do what makes you happy, but just be reasonable about it. And I know I've said this word a lot, but just have clarity, be able to open up your bank app and know what's in there, what's going in and what's coming out. Once you know that, the world is yours. You just need to understand that simple thing. But yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The clarity is huge. That's why you keep saying it, though, because it is like so many people, maybe even look at their bank app because they're scared to open it. They're like, oh my God, I don't want to look. I don't want to see it.
Yes.
Right. And, I do an annual budget because I have to for my business. I also do sort of like a personal thing too. And you can kind of see like an expense creep happening in certain areas, right?
Yeah.
That if you're not watching those Amazon same day delivery, right? It's just so easy.
Little things.
Like, I remember before being out with friends and being like looking something up. And I was like, oh yeah, like I should buy this. And then you just swipe and then it's at my house the next day. You don't even think about it. You just spent $15, $25, like whatever it is. Yeah. But if you're doing that consistently, and then Uber Eats now.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to take it off my phone. And this is making me too lazy. Right? Yeah. So I go buy groceries and make something, or you're going to have food in the fridge. I'd still Uber Eats it.
I know.
What do you see for people that are trying to get their financial stuff in order? Like, I like that you say don't sacrifice. Like, I always think, what's his name? Dave Ramsey. That guy's like hardcore.
Yes.
I've never seen him.
Yes.
Yeah. But I like not sacrificing. But what's some advice you would say to people that want to start saving for the future or planning for their retirement? Like, what's like a little tip you could give?
Yeah, somebody? I don't want to sound cheesy or anything, but it's the whole idea of you have to be patient with yourself. It's a slow sprint. It's not a marathon. So it's about those little wins. So you have to make a list and you have to prioritize what it is that's important to you, whether it's paying off debt, saving or something specific. It's finding those little wins and then finding ways to celebrate those and make sure that you're reaching them.
I like it. Sounds like fun.
It is fun.
Like, it's fun to see your bank account go up.
It is. Over
time and not spending it. Yeah. Obviously a lot of challenges throughout your industries. What would you say are some of the biggest challenges that you face?
I think it's the misinformation that's out there. It's having to explain to people the difference between an RSP and a TFSA and how they should properly be putting their money away. That is a challenge, and just explaining to young people that they need to start young. A lot of people think they have time, and we have time, but time is as a funny way of slipping away. So it's just making use of that time.
That's the biggest thing is young people, trying to get them to do it.
Yeah.
Because I was just financially reckless in my 20s. I didn't actually start getting serious about it, honestly, till my 30s. I wish. But now looking back, I'm like, oh, I wish I, you like $500 a month, just something, right? Just putting more aside.
Yeah.
Put some aside, but not as much as I should have, right?
Yeah.
But trying to drill it into somebody that's young, because our culture just doesn't support that.
No.
You're on social media and you're looking like somebody's 21 years old driving like a Lamborghini, and then you want that life, or you might want the life that your parents wanted, right? But like right out of the gate, even though your parents spent 25, 30 years building that, right? And you're thinking you want it right away. So I could definitely see that being a challenging part. And then the misinformation too.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Like, do you get a lot of people that reach out to you with just these crazy concepts that you're like, no, that's not?
I have had a couple DMs about gold I actually have. Oh, and nothing wrong with that, but yeah,
Is it like I should buy gold? Should I be stocking up on like?
they're just letting me know that it's the best investment decision that they ever made, and
They're voluntarily reaching out to say gold is great. Are they buying gold and keeping it in their house?
They are.
Investing in gold?
Yeah, they say they are. I don't know. I don't trust everything I read. I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah, we have a friend who you would know. I'm not gonna say who it is, but you would know him. But he stocks up. One day he was showing me. He's like, yeah, I got silver bars, and they were like the actual bars. And it's just for some reason I thought, I'm like, this guy's living like a pirate. He's got like gold and silver, right? I'm thinking that's hilarious. But he's probably one of those people that's thinking, But I think he also thinks the bank system is gonna collapse, so he just wants to be prepared.
That's something that I have to deal with. Oh, especially now with everything that's going on with tariffs and just everything. Let's not get into that. But yeah, it's overcoming those fears. And I don't want to say they're irrational. They're real. It's what's happening globally is real. It's happening. And we have to take what we know, but we also have to look at patterns. So that's how I try to overcome that. It's okay. This is happening now. Let's look at how we've overcome this in the past. Nothing is new. We're not experiencing anything we haven't experienced before. So
that's so true, because when times are bad or like the inflation was high or, kind of what we're going through right now, like this has happened before, right? I mean, there was the massive correction in the 90s in Canada anyways, right? That I know real estate prices, it took like 6 years for prices to come back up. It was a big dip. But with that said, though, I feel that the governments are way more equipped now and have a deeper understanding of what to do to either soften the blow or minimize any repercussions. Because back in the 90s, the Bank of Canada, where they understand how they could use the interest rates to sort of influence things, right? But now, of course, we're dealing with like this, down south. So this might be a bit different with the tariffs, but still, I think we'll get some clarity on it soon.
Yeah, that's what I like to tell my clients. I'm not too concerned. That doesn't mean I'm not monitoring it and watching to make sure that our plan is in line with what the initial goal for you was. But let's just stay on track and it's all going to be okay. That's sort of the message that I like to convey. Some listen, some clients like a phone call every day, and that's okay. I can do that. I like to talk on the phone, not necessarily in front of a camera, but here I am.
Bringing you out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. A lot of people are shy on camera. My first video, I actually found it because I was looking for it. And I think I took a deep breath and I think I just talked for 2 minutes and didn't stop or like breathe so fast. Oh my God, the video is so bad. I might post it one.
We should pull it out of the archives. Yeah. I think we should. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. But even now, video, you got to be right. Everybody, if you're trying to put yourself out there, it's become such an important tool to do it. So going back then to the start, if you had to give yourself some advice starting out on this journey, what do you think that advice would be?
That's a really good question. It would be this is going to sound silly, but don't be so afraid of what other people are going to think, right? I have knowledge that a lot of people don't have that could help them. And I was so afraid for so long to be open about what I know and how it can help other people. So I wish that I had started sooner educating other people.
That's the scary thing, putting yourself out there.
It is.
I go through it too. Like, you have the knowledge and you can actually benefit and help people, but then you're worried about what are other people going to think. You're worried, am I going to get the negative comments? Am I going to get the people that,
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. That's a real thing.
It is.
That's a very real thing. Yeah. I suffer from that too. And then I used to not fake it till you make it, more like act as if it was me. But then eventually, you get it. But you're right. Like, the imposter syndrome is real. Like, why should somebody listen to me? Am I good enough? Like, you kind of said at the start of this, you felt like you didn't have a story to tell, but your stories is actually one of the most interesting ones.
Yep.
Right. And you've walked the walk. So now it's like you can talk about it and be open about it. Right. Do you find that because you share your story more, you're attracting more of the clients that you want?
Absolutely. being open about my divorce and even just parenthood, being a mom, has allowed me to be able to relate to so many more people. Now I feel like people they don't just see a robot on there that's telling you about compound interest and inflation. They see a mom, they see someone who's gone through a career change, a divorce. I get it. I've been there. So they're not so afraid to reach out to me. I don't care if you have never invested a dollar in your life. All I care about is that you're here now and you're asking the questions.
Mhm.
That's it.
That's the biggest thing, right? And it's good that people are reaching out to you, though. It means that you're doing a good job with your messaging and getting in front of people. And then also, I'm sure you have a soft spot too for people that are going through it.
I do.
Do you find you get people that overly confide in you?
A little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. DMs are open.
Yeah.
I'm happy to help.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and but your family's got a background in financial, I guess, literacy too, right? Because your dad was a CPA.
Yes, Joe Monachino taught me tons. I'm really fortunate that I have that support from him too. And we grew up learning the fundamentals about saving and not spending everything that we made. So that really helped with me.
Mm-hmm. Did you embrace it, or were you like, Dad, stop?
I embraced parts of it. He had 4 daughters. None of us became an accountant, so I didn't embrace that side of it. But yeah.
I mean, that's okay, right? You still got into it in your own way, though, right? Because he's huge, especially in the Italian community in Hamilton, right? Everything that he's done for it, even everything he's done in Hamilton in general. So he's pretty well known.
He is
there. I want to ask, and I know I didn't prep you for it, but what do you think is some of the best advice that your dad gave you?
Oh, that's such a good question. He's always, I don't know if this is going to answer it, but he's always been the most supportive. So even, let's say I failed a class in university. First person I would call would be my dad, Joe, and I'd be upset and sad about it. And he never made me feel like a failure. It was always, okay, well, what lesson can we learn from this? So the best thing he taught me is that there's no such thing as rock bottom. There's nothing that can knock you right down. It's just keep looking forward, make good choices, be nice to everybody, and you're gonna do well. That's sort of what he imparted on me, and I think here I am.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's really good advice, though, right? I mean, that's advice not even just for, I think for anybody, great life advice, business advice is just to, treat everybody well, which is important. But also, when you think of what so many other people in the world have to go through, and then you think about our life here, right? It's easy here though. You think you might get negative or think that it's not good or the situation sucks and all that. But when you actually compare it to what's going on out there, our problems are, I don't want to say trivial, but they're not that bad.
No.
Right? You can get out of it. Which I'm sure is something that you probably help a lot of your clients with as they're going through these tough situations.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we are very fortunate to live here in this country, and I'm very fortunate that we talked about Joe, that I've had Joe to help me through my tough times. I think everyone needs to find their village and their support, whether that comes from family or someone that they can trust who knows about money or just general life situations, just helping you get through all the seasons of your life.
That's it. All the seasons of your life. I like that term.
Yeah.
You were talking earlier about whether you should be investing in RSPs, TFSAs, that sort of thing. What's sort of your general outline around that?
So it's just knowing the difference between tax deferred and what's the word I'm looking for?
Fine.
You stumped me. It's knowing the difference between the two products and how they work and how that affects your taxes, right? And so depending on your income levels, where you are in your journey of saving for retirement, that's a tough question to just answer without looking at a specific
You would need somebody's actual
situation.
information. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think if somebody's employer like puts money into their RSPs or they match it or whatever, would you say that then you should try to do as much as you can? Or again, is that something that's kind of
Yes.
dependent on?
You always take advantage of any, I call it's free money. Take advantage, whatever you can get, max it out, and you'll be set. Well, you won't be set. You have to do other things. But if your employer is offering to help you reach your retirement goals, take that. But know what your options are. Know, okay, when I'm not working here anymore, where is this money going? Is this portable? Can I then move it and invest it somewhere else? It's understanding how that works. So even though if you're working with a financial advisor and they're not necessarily managing that money, make sure they're aware of it so that they can incorporate it into your entire financial plan.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because you're right, it's free money. So
It is.
why would you not do it? Even in terms of like the mortgage side, right? So I know that a lot of people like, are you more, yeah, I want to ask this question, but I don't know if you're going to answer. Are you in favor of people like paying their mortgage off fully or taking money and investing?
I hate this question.
Like what should I do, Victoria?
It really depends. I don't want anyone to come at me for answering this. There are benefits to paying off your mortgage early, but you also have to look at how much it's costing you if you're not investing that money. How much are you going to make if you're investing that money properly in something that's going to grow? I don't want to say most cases, but in a lot of cases, you probably are better investing that money and not paying your mortgage off early. But I don't know what your financial situation is, so this is not advice.
Yeah, this is but the disclaimer: this is not financial advice.
This is not financial advice.
I like flip flopped on it because I used to have the mentality of like, yeah, I'm going to invest it and grow. Lately, I've been wanting to just pay off my house. But again, like you said, it's a financial thing, right? Like if I'm able to pay it off quicker and then still invest after, like I want to do that route.
It also depends on the kind of investor that you are. If you're someone that can if you're going to be happier without a mortgage, pay it off. That's so important too.
It's a big one for me. That's the big reason I want to do it.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want,
and that's cool.
Yeah. I'll be able to pay it off sooner. It's not like I'm going to rush, but part of me is like, if I don't have that payment, like I just own my house. But it's also my largest investment is my property, because one trap I didn't want to fall into, because I've had clients do it where they live in one of these bungalows on the Hamilton Mountain. They've lived there since like the 1960s, 70s, whatever. And then they go to sell it. It might not have a mortgage on it, but they go to sell it, but they actually don't have enough money to buy something else to downsize into, whether it's a condo. And then if they're renting, they're kind of you only have so much time that you can pay that rent with the money that you made, right? So that's the only thing. Like I've seen some seniors take on small loans to be able to purchase what they're downsizing into, which I guess it kind of defeats the plan of your retirement. So I guess that's where you're saying, right, it depends on your financial, because had they, instead of focused on paying the mortgage off, invested the money otherwise and made that return, then they'd be better off.
Yep.
But that's,
it's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's not one size fits all. Nothing is when it comes to this world.
Yeah.
But it's also understanding penalties, right? If you're going to pay off your mortgage early, oftentimes there is a penalty. So it's just make sure you have all the information before you do make a decision like that. Something that's really important is everyone's always looking for the easy way to do anything, to make money. And there's no easy way. It's hard work. It's understanding what's going on and how everything works.
Yeah. It's like Les Brown is one of my favorite motivational speakers. He always says like easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
And it's so true that if it's easy to get, or you end up cutting corners to do it or whatever, it's not going to be sustainable.
No.
Right. In terms of the mortgages right now, like we're filming this in July 2025, right? So, which we're going to be watching it this month anyways. Are you finding like a lot of people going towards variable? Are you finding fixed? Like what kind of conversations are you having with people out there?
Still fixed. A lot of people, just with everything that's going on, people are more comfortable with fixed, but there is a time and a place for variable. It could just be the people I'm talking to. They're knowing who they are as investors and just their comfort level.
Yeah. I guess with the risk with variables, what rates could go up?
They could, but you could always lock it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people are going three-year fixed right now.
Okay, so we're going to see the next major renewal cycle, 2028.
Yes.
That'll be it. Because this year's the big one.
There's tons of renewals this year.
Yeah, this is the big one. I think next year too.
Probably.
Because that's 5 years from 21. Yeah, cool. Oh my God. Because I find that the people are willing to pay more with the fixed rate, even if the variable is cheaper. Well, I guess it's not cheaper right now, but even if it is cheaper, just to know that this is going to be my monthly payment. Like that's just security for some people, right?
And that's what they need with sometimes that's all people need. With what's going on in the markets right now, it's just the security.
And then there's also a lot of misunderstanding around mortgage rates that I hear from people, like thinking that, okay, I had a 2% or 1.9, whatever it is. I'm going to renew. It's going to be 4. They think their payments are going to double. I actually have had that conversation with people, right? Do you find that there's a lack of awareness around how this stuff sort of works?
A little bit. I look at their previous, when I'm looking at a renewal now, and I'll see these low rates, and when I explain to them sort of what we're probably looking at, I can see the initial shock, and then I just tell them to hang tight, and I'll do a full mortgage plan for them and show them the numbers, and they are more at ease. I mean, their payments do go up, but oftentimes they're not as much as they think they're going to go up.
So for first-time home buyers, it is getting increasingly difficult to save for properties, or at least the conception that it's getting more difficult to save for properties. What are some strategies that you would give to a first-time home buyer or somebody that wants to purchase their first home?
I love that question. I think we need to really pay more attention to investment tools that are available to us in Canada now, like the first-time home buyers account. It's so underused because people don't understand how it works. Looking into options like that, there is being able to pull money from your RSP, but now that the FHSA exists, more and more Canadians need to look at that. Even if you're not planning on buying a house, if you don't have one, open one, because you can later on move it to your RSP and help save for retirement that way. But there are strategies out there to help first-time home buyers be able to get into their first home without begging mom and dad for a couple $100,000.
It's at the bank of mom and dad.
Yeah.
Right? Even a cosign is helpful sometimes too. Yeah. But you're right. I actually didn't know the FHSA could be transferred later into an RSP. Because they're both, basically the reason you would use either one is just for the tax deferral.
Exactly.
Right? But the biggest advantage, I guess, from what I understand of it, is the FHSA, that's your money when you take it out to put on a down payment, you don't have to pay it back.
No.
Whereas with the RSP, you have to replace that money within a certain time period. Right. Exactly.
So I know couples who, they have enough saved for a house. They're not buying yet. But let's say the wife, younger couples, they haven't opened one yet. And I've said, go ahead, open the FHSA in the event that you need some extra money to put towards the down payment. If you don't use it, you don't use it. We can figure it out later. But it's there. The resources are there. And just knowing you don't have to pay it back is a huge benefit to young people who are starting out. It's great that you can take money from your RSP, but you're borrowing it. You have to pay it back or else.
Or else, right? And that's the biggest thing is you have to pay it back. So not only are you buying a home with your mortgage payment, insurance, everything that comes with that, you also have this other, it's almost like a loan, even though it's your money, but you still have to pay it back because you want that interest-free period, right?
Or you're paying CRA more money.
That's it. Nobody wants to pay CRA more money.
Not more money than they need, though.
No, that's it. Your dad always made sure I was good.
Oh, good.
It's good there. Yeah. But I appreciate you taking the time out of your super busy schedule to come on the podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun. So once again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, take care.